Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. You know I write with a scalpel because my penmanship is surgical. Zoro vs Kaku was a fight that I used to love, but after rereading it, it now frustrates me. This fight has a problem that a lot of One Piece fights have. First, I want to clearly define a term. When I say strategy, most people think of overarching tactics that are used, usually based on powers, but I recently made a video essay talking about how martial arts or CQC counted as tactics too. When I say good CQC, I am referring to an exchange of attacks that are logically based on the previous attacks. Now onto the fight. It starts in chapter 401. I'll have to analyze this differently, because this fight isn't as neat as the other ones I've dissected. Kaku starts with the Kaku, and Zoro deflects it. That makes sense, since there was distance between them. Kaku moves close, the two exchange blows, and then when there's space, they both fire sword waves. Good strategy. Kaku uses the explosion to try and sneak attack Zoro, but he blocks it and pushes him back. Zoro closes the distance, but Kaku dodges the attack. Kaku jumps on the ceiling and fires a wave of Kakus. So far so good. There was good CQC and even some power-based tactics. I'm skipping the goofy Usopp part and jumping to when the handcuffs are freed. The fight picks back up in chapter 413. Kaku uses a new Kaku variant that is blocked by Zoro. Zoro thinks Kaku's neck is an opening, but Kaku is too nimble and hits him with a nose pistol. However, Zoro is able to deflect it. So as of now, Zoro can deflect both Kakus and nose pistols, meaning that there should be no attacks giving him problems. The fight returns in 416, with Zoro blocking another nose pistol. Zoro decides to use a combo of new Nitoryu attacks, all of which fail and end with him getting hit. What was the point of that? To show off new special moves. There was no tactical reasoning Zoro should have gotten up close to use projectile attacks, especially when he already had a long-ranged one in Pound Ho, which he already used in this fight, but the story just had to show off new attacks. This is the start of my issues. Kaku folds himself to use Giraffe Shower. When Zoro gets shredded, Kaku hits him with a nose pistol, so Zoro can't counter this move. I'd expect Zoro forming a solution to be the next phase of the battle, but Kaku never uses this attack again. So far, this was Kaku's most effective strategy, but it's abandoned to make way for new special moves. Next, Zoro decides that Tekai is his biggest obstacle and tries to use Shishisonso to break it, which is a neat callback to how he used the move to cut Daz's bones. This doesn't work because Kaku counters with Kaku. Now, I would think Zoro's next strategy would be figuring out how to cut Kaku. Instead, he used two Gorilla Cut to counter Kaku's nose pistol. Why did he need to use this new move when he already countered nose pistol at the start? New moves. Why did Kaku use a move that was countered already, without starting with a distraction like with Giraffe Shower? I don't know. Next is chapter 417. Kaku uses a new move, Giraffe Blast, which is a stronger nose pistol. Zoro thinks he can cut the neck, even though Kaku's already shown that he could precisely control it to evade, but Kaku follows up with a new Kaku. Based on Zoro feeling that he needed to use Shishisonson, I don't think he can currently cut through Tekai, so I don't know why he keeps going for the neck. Kaku uses Giraffe Blast again, and Zoro counters with Tatsumaki. What difference did using Tatsumaki make in this fight? None, but it's a cool move, right? Kaku is unharmed, but decides to grab his swords. Kaku uses 4-sword style as Zoro defends Samurai's quick attacks. After an opening, Zoro uses leopard spinning balls. Kaku thinks he's dodged with paper art, but he's hit. Kaku believes that he got hit because he was red. This confuses me, because the leopard attack didn't look stronger than Tatsumaki, yet it's the one that cuts him. Does that mean leopard spinning balls is stronger than Tatsumaki and 2 Gorilla Strike? It doesn't look powerful, but if it is, then why did he bother using Gorilla or Dragon? New moves. Kaku distracts Zoro with a new Kaku, before striking with Giraffe Blast, which seems to be the same tactic as with Giraffe Shower, except the shower actually harmed Zoro. Then he uses 2 new neck combos and a 4-sword style combo. Zoro is barely keeping up with the onslaught, but there is a pause when Zoro's aura looks like Ashura. Kaku decides to use his strongest attack, and Zoro counters with an unforeshadowed new power-up. He cuts the new Kaku, which I thought should have been the focus from the start, and then he cuts Kaku with the final Kitoryu attack. The best part of this battle was before Kaku transformed. There was great CQC along with tactics that made sense considering the character's moveset, but after Kaku transforms, it feels like the story just wants to show off a bunch of new moves regardless of the logic. There was no reason to use Tower Climb when Zoro already had a good projectile. Giraffe Shower was a perfect strategy for Kaku that Zoro hadn't yet countered, but he abandons it to show more moves. Instead of trying to cut Kaku or Tekai, Zoro uses a new move to counter an already countered attack. Instead of Kaku relying on Kaku, which Zoro couldn't cut at the time, he uses Nose Pistol again, which Zoro had already countered. Then he goes to grab swords when he could just stick to Giraffe Shower and Kaku in general. Leopard spinning balls works for Zoro with an unsatisfying explanation, and Zoro just ends the fight with a new move. Zoro trying Shishisonson was smart, and Kaku trying to overwhelm Zoro with multiple attacks was a good strategy, because it seemed like Zoro couldn't focus on multiple attacks at once. But those were the only good parts after Kaku used his Devil Fruit. The rest of the fight feels like characters button mashing special moves in a fighting game, with no rhyme or reason. It feels like a montage of special moves from both combatants. This makes the fight pretty senseless. In conclusion, Zoro vs Kaku isn't a good fight because most of the characters' attacks don't follow a logical line of reasoning, creating questionable strategies and decisions. It feels like the characters are trying to showcase their moves rather than win the fight with an effective strategy. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.